Hello and welcome to Bull and Bear Cryptocurrency Analysis News and Education. My name is James Gore and this video is for the 31st of December 2017, New Year's Eve. Going to be doing a market update, diving into the technical analysis for Bitcoin, Ethereum and Litecoin, and then we shall be jumping straight into the news. Just before I do start though, I'd like to say thank you for all of those that joined me on the live stream last night. It was really cool to hang out with you guys, answer some questions and do crypto news live with you guys. Thank you for all this continual support. I really do appreciate it. It's really a big deal that I've reached 5,000 subs. I know I keep saying it, but it's crazy to me. So first things first, we're jumping straight into the market update. We can see that Bitcoin's, the total market capitalization for the space is 573 billion US dollars. It's still hanging around that general level right now. Bitcoin's dominance again hanging around the 38% level, and most of the market is still in the red. Of course, a lot of coins are tied to Bitcoin, so if Bitcoin performs poorly, then the whole market does poorly. You can see here though that Ripple is starting to have a bit of a pullback, so if you were interested in investing in Ripple, now may be a good time, especially as the first piece of news we talk about today is actually insane. Cardano is starting to see a bit of a run up here. And we can see Neo and Qtum doing a bit of action, but nothing too crazy. We're going to dive straight into the technical analysis with the major players in this space. We're going to go to daily time frame and see how we're comparing to the last video. So we can see here, yesterday's candle did close below this support level. So that support level is now no longer relevant because it's going to turn to future resistance. I should probably undo that actually, because it's going to become future resistance. And actually we can see that today's candle, it did become resistance today. We can see it's bouncing off that level of 13,521. So if you've been following the videos, you know that we're bouncing off that in terms of support. So there, and there. And as it was previous support, it's now current resistance. Now we're trading below it, but we're also bouncing off the 50-day moving average. So the next week or so is going to really show where we're heading with regards to Bitcoin for the early next year, because as we see the moving average start to creep up, the trading space between this current resistance level and this support level, which is the 50-day moving average, it's going to become smaller and smaller. Okay, and it's going to be a point where either Bitcoin is going to break down for the bearish and start trading and bouncing off the 100-day moving average, or it's going to break above this resistance level. We're going to get some bullish volume. We're going to start trading higher again. Okay, so depending on how you see things and depending on how you're predicting things, this may be a good time to load up on Bitcoin. I say Bitcoin is always a long-term hold. If you are holding any, don't sell. Just keep holding and try to add to your position. But we'll try and see more details at the 4-hour time frame and hourly time frame. We're just going to take a quick zoom back here, and we can see here on the 4-hour time frame as well that the 100 moving average served as a bit of resistance there as well, and the 50 moving average is serving as resistance as well. As it starts to curl down, it's going to hit this level, and it's also going to serve as some resistance here. It's an interesting time for Bitcoin because it does kind of pull Ethereum and Litecoin down with it when it underperforms. But we can see here we have potential for a bit of an equilibrium pattern forming with a high and a low, lower high. See if this sets a higher low, and then maybe we'll have a bit of a break. But we do have a lot of resistance levels starting to factor in at the moment. There's still room to make money in this space, especially with Bitcoin alone. But you just have to kind of be a bit more savvy with regards to what you're doing. So we're going to take a quick look at Ethereum now on the daily time frame. And you can see my fib retracement ages back when I was looking at price levels. So yes, Ethereum actually seems to be doing a tiny bit better compared to US dollar versus Bitcoin at the moment. But nothing major is happening. There's no volume on today's candle, and there was a bit of a bearish volume yesterday, but bulls bought the dip with this long low wick. Low wick almost as large as the body. I'm going to zoom in for a tiny bit more detail on the 4-hour time frame, and we can see here that the averages are starting to really come into play now in the 4-hour time frame. You can see it bouncing off the 100 moving average, which is the yellow line, and off the 50 moving average, which is the green line. Again, I'd really like to see Ethereum break out and break above firstly the averages and also this resistance level here of $743, and then we can expect a bull run and new highs. But until we do that, we're going to be trading very tightly at the moment. We're actually going to zoom in on the hourly time frame to see what's up. So maybe we have a bit of an equilibrium pattern again, trading below the averages, but it's not looking too interesting for a start. Maybe we'll check out the 15-minute, see what's going on. So there is a tiny bit of momentum. It tends to still be able to break out, and you can see here there's still a chance to make a bit of money with these moves. 5%, 6% gains, nothing too crazy, but it doesn't look too great. And again, like I said, the Ethereum and Litecoin are really tied to how Bitcoin performs at the moment. So I'm just going to quickly take a look at Litecoin, and then we're going to get to the first piece of news, which is extremely juicy, probably the biggest news. So we look at the daily time frame, lovely downtrendy candle there. So we can see, okay, so I'm going to talk about price levels right now. Okay, so we actually do have a bit of a support level starting to form here, which is interesting. It's right here, I'm assuming, and we can see here that Litecoin bounced off these levels approximately here. So that was almost previous support in the past. Candle to touch down and break above that, but we actually closed here on that candle, and that actually fits in with 2 previous days worth of price action, price history. So that's more reliable than this support level. And also, as we're trading above it now, we did have a bit of a run up, but people were taking profits. But right now on the daily, again, as it's tied to Bitcoin, it's tricky to see what's going to happen. Hopefully, like Bitcoin, the 50-day moving average will start to curve up, just generally trend up, and Litecoin will bounce off it, and it'll start to have a bit of a run up. Hopefully that starts to happen before Litecoin breaks below this support level of $211. If Litecoin starts to break below this support level, it's going to be a bit soon, and it means that we're unlikely to see a crazy run anytime soon. I'll take a quick look with regards to the 4-hour time frame, and we can see here on the 4-hour time frame we're actually trading below the averages, and the averages, we're not even bouncing off the averages at the moment. They're actually forming not even forming resistance, we're not even making it yet, but we can see here that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times this price level has been support. So this actually seems like quite a strong support level, and also in the past it formed support on this candle as well on the 22nd of December. So Litecoin actually seems like a stronger play than Ethereum with regards to price levels. It's probably more likely to break up. I still would like to see a bit of action above these moving averages. If we look at the hourly time frame, we can get a bit more detail as well. But Litecoin seems like a stronger play than Ethereum if you want to get into this game. And yeah, it's bouncing off the moving averages at the moment. So it's probably going to come down, tighten, and then we're going to see a very clear break for the bullish or break for the bearish. I'll be honest with you, this support level seems much stronger than Bitcoin or Ethereum. Of course, Litecoin is tied to Bitcoin, but it seems like Litecoin compared to Ethereum is more likely to break bullish when these moving averages do start to come down and come into play. We shall see though. It's all a bit tricky at the moment. It's trading very tightly on the MACD as well, so we'll see how it goes. So first piece of news: Ripple demo on Coinbase beta. So this was kind of examined as well by this chap. The wallet IDs check out. I took a quick look at the wallet IDs they check out. It seems like Ripple is confirmed to be trading on Coinbase. So if this goes full screen, I'll show you guys. So we can see here, this guy is showing, it's on beta.coinbase.com. We can see that Ripple is there as an option. We can see that in the past he's been sending and receiving Ripple, been testing out his wallet. And to be quite honest with you, we can see this, it was sent via Shapeshift, which is another exchange. And the guy's credentials, George Smith, is actually an employee at Coinbase. So this is confirmation that, this could have been edited and doctored. This could be all fake. However, it's in Coinbase interests to kind of leak information like this to the public. And we have seen a crazy run up with Ripple in the past couple of days. And I did say, compared to Bitcoin Cash, we saw a similar thing happen, and then it was announced on Coinbase. So, insider trading is happening in the space. There's no regulations with regards to it. People that probably work for Coinbase probably told their friends, and it's leaked out. Okay, and that's why we've seen the price run up. Okay, in the past. So if you haven't seen my video on what coins are going to be listed on Coinbase, I suggest you look through the channel, and it actually says that's one of the most popular videos because it actually called out Bitcoin Cash, said it was going to be listed, it got listed, called out Ripple, looks like it's going to be listed, and I speak about the other coins that are going to be listed on Coinbase and why, and I explain it because they released their standards. So this is a bit of confirmation there. If you're not holding Ripple, Ripple has actually probably been priced in with this news already, which is why there's been a run up. But we're probably going to see people late to the game also buy Ripple than the mass public purchase Ripple, because they're going to see a coin on Coinbase that is less or around $1, and they'll be like, oh, this is like Bitcoin except it's only $1. I'm going to jump in on this because it's going to have more upside potential, and that's what people do, and that's going to increase the price. So interesting times afoot with regards to coins being listed on Coinbase. Next up, 4 Australian banks allegedly freeze accounts over crypto activity. So this is for their customers. This isn't for exchanges. This is people like you and I that use sites like Coinbase. These Australian banks have basically frozen their accounts. Okay, and this is a sign of things to come. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency in general, is a threat to the traditional banking system, and some banks, some countries aren't going to want to allow their customers, because try and keep a vice-like grip over their customer base and really freeze out their assets. The only problem with that is that you can't stop crypto, you can't stop blockchain tech, can't stop cryptocurrencies from existing. So people will always find a way around to circumvent the system. And my advice to you, if you're in Australia and this is happening to you, or to circumvent this, is to use an intermediary service. So you can either buy Bitcoin with cash in hand. So a website for that is Local Bitcoins, and you can have a wallet address that is either tied to Coinbase if you like the Coinbase app, or you could have a paper wallet and just use that instead. You need to completely off the grid with regards to your Bitcoin purchases. Or you can just use a service like blockchain.info that doesn't require any ID verification to hold, store, and transact your Bitcoin, but not buy and sell. But also, if you're in Europe, there's apps like Revolut where you can send money to Revolut and then fund Coinbase with the Revolut as well. So it's a bit of an intermediary. I expect banks to be doing this more in the future, the ones that aren't willing to change their system to kind of integrate cryptocurrency into their banking system, the ones that are looking for that vice-like grip. So make sure you do protect yourselves at all times. Don't trust anyone with your public and private, well, your private keys at least. Your public keys, that's a different story. Especially not banks, and don't store any crypto with a bank, because that is coming and that's a bad idea. Moving on. This shouldn't be open. Moving on, Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash. So BitMEX is an exchange. I can't remember where they are, but basically they just liquidated all of their Bitcoin Cash on their platform and gave their customers Bitcoin instead. They're not supporting Bitcoin Cash anymore, and they're basically notifying their customers that they're not going to support Bitcoin Cash. And it's understandable why some people have this stance of Bitcoin Cash, especially when it comes to an exchange, because there's an nth number of forks that are popping up for Bitcoin right now, and to support them all, it's quite a headache. I mean, if you look at how Coinbase launched Bitcoin Cash, there's no European trading for Bitcoin Cash, because there's just no one cares, no one wants it, and it's kind of not really useful. If we look at the liquidity on Bitcoin Cash on GDAX as well, it's just not there. It's not really well traded at the moment. There's much more liquidity in Ethereum and Litecoin and Bitcoin, of course. So we're seeing exchanges do this more often, because people aren't, most of the people that are using these exchanges aren't interested in Bitcoin Cash. So we can see why this happened. Moving on, last 2 pieces of news. So if you are aware or aren't aware, there was a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubts this year with China. I think it was back in September, a bit or earlier. Bitcoin dropped to $3,000 or so, because China basically said we're not allowing any ICOs, etc., basically cracking down on cryptocurrency. seen some news that in 2018, China is possibly going to start kicking into gear with regards to cryptocurrency, and it was kind of expected because this cryptocurrency space is going to be developing at an extremely rapid rate. It is an explosive market at the moment, and the less time you spend in it, the less upside you're going to experience for your government and for your people and for your country. So if you're in the game or you're not, but the game's going to keep being played anyway. So China is basically probably going to jump back into cryptocurrency space much more prominently in 2018. I do have a friend that's into cryptocurrency that has strong ties to Chinese regulators and government, and basically said 2018 is going to be a big year for China and any Chinese cryptocurrencies because they're going to be loosening the ties with regards to regulations, be way more open in 2018. So that's good news for people that are interested in cryptocurrencies in China. So last piece of news, it's not really news, it's more of an interesting article because I believe privacy coins is going to be a big deal going forward, and lots of people are asking me about privacy coins, and I suggest you read this article. It's not super technical, it's very brief actually. It's just a good overview of some of the algorithms, how some privacy coins work, and how the actual privacy coins that actually have standing in this space. So if you notice, they have the main ones, which is Monero and Zcash. Monero uses Ring CT and Zcash uses ZK Snarks, I believe. And then we have forked version, which is Zcash Classic, which is Zcash Classic before the fork, and Zencash as well. But then we have Dash, Zcoin, Pivx, and Verge, and then some other players like Navcoin and Navcoin. So I suggest you read this article to get an oversight, a bit of a very general, very general understanding of how these privacy coins work, because they're going to be big in 2018 with tighter grips and regulation. People are trying to protect their privacy because privacy is a right, in this space and in the public. So that's it for this video. I'm just going to make a very quick announcement with regards to what's happening with this channel. So I asked you guys if what you wanted to see more with regards to technical analysis, because a lot of people, like overwhelming number of you were emailing me and messaging me about technical analysis. Can I do more technical analysis? And I launched a poll on my Patreon. It was open to the public, and it basically said basic conclusion was to create a technical analysis course and include more technical analysis in these videos. So I added Ethereum Litecoin to the video, and I'm going to release a course as well. So with regards to the course, I'm going to release it for free to all of my the first 100 patrons of my channel, just because you guys are supporting the channel financially from the start, and it's still very early days for this channel. It'll be completely free. I know I said on the Patreon that it'd be 50% off, but I'll just give it to you guys for free, just because you guys are supporting me and helping this channel grow. So I'd just like to say thank you for doing so. I don't know how long it's going to take. It's probably going to take quite some time, because I want to have a very methodical, well thought out and easy to learn from, well taught series of a course essentially on technical analysis geared to the cryptocurrency space. So that is on the horizon. There'll be more videos. There's another video launching today this afternoon about my predictions for 2018. Stay tuned. I'll see you in that video, and if I don't see you in that video, wishing you a happy new year and wishing you guys all the best. I hope you have a great night tonight, and I shall see you soon.
Thank you for watching that video. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to watch the last news video. There's videos on the left to watch the last educational video. There's videos on the right. If you'd like to support the channel, you can sign up via the referral links, donate crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or Dash, or support via Patreon. See you in the next one. All the best.